I knew it. I called it. I did a whole video about this. I am so pleased that we're getting this set. Hello and welcome back to another video here in the Lego room. I hope you are well. Today is a very exciting day because we have found out all of the sets, or all of the sets so far for Lego Harry Potter in January of 2026, and we have got a couple of doozies on the list, and we've got ways one or two that I'm not quite as excited about, and we'll get onto those as we go through the list. If you're a Lego Harry Potter fan, please do drop this video a like. I'm sure there'll be something on this list that you do like, and if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. We've got a ton of Lego Harry Potter stuff coming up in this space. Let's dive right into it with a set that I am most excited about, and the only one that I will definitely be grabbing on January the 1st, and that is of course starting with set number 76467, and this is a Lovegood house, and I covered this in a video at the very start of the year, why we don't have more buildings from Harry Potter and more modular buildings, more houses, and I covered the Lovegood house as something that they could do in the very future, and guess what? We're getting a Lovegood house at the very start of 2026. This set is looking like it's going to come in at $100 as things stand, at £90 here in the UK, and I'll say as things stand if I give any American pricing in dollars because of tariffs, and we've already seen over the course of this year that the prices are inflating at a crazy rate, and they are changing all the time. So at the moment it's a $100 set, a £90 set here in the UK. Very excited about this one for £90. I expect there to be a similar size to the Privet Drive set that we got about a month ago in terms of the sort of base structure of it and how it closes, has it closed back. I expect it obviously to be a different shape. It's obviously going to be black. It's obviously going to be higher up. I expect there to be more bushes and shrubbery and sort of more grassy area around the front of it, more of those dirigible plums at the front. I expect it to be a Xenophilius. I expect it to be a Luna, possibly. It depends what they're going with. It could just be a case of Harry, Ron, Hermione and Xenophilius, maybe with a Death Eater or two in there as well. It's very possible, now that I've said it out loud, that Luna's probably not on the cards for this. At $90 as well, at £90 here in the UK rather, it's very likely that there's only going to be maybe 5 or 6 figures in this max, and you'd expect that to be Xenophilius and of course the Golden Trio, maybe with 1 or 2 Death Eaters. The next setup is set number 76461, and this is a buildable Cornish Pixie, and this will be at the £25 price mark, or $30 as things stand, and it will come onto the shelves of course on January the 1st, and on December the 31st Dobby, who is also at that same price point, the buildable Dobby, will be coming off shelves on December 31st, so it kind of fills that £25 buildable character sort of space on shelves for Lego Harry Potter. It's not one that I'll probably grab. I may well grab it further down the line if it ends up on a deep discount. It's the kind of set I can see being on discount by Prime Day next summer. It's not one that I'll be grabbing on day one. I do like the fact that they're experimenting more with these buildable characters. I do like the fact they've done it of course with the Mandrake, with Buckbeak. They are trying to do something slightly different. If you think about those buildable Ron, buildable Hermione and Harry figures from a couple of years ago, they always do try to do something ever so slightly different. I always do appreciate that with Harry Potter. It doesn't always of course work out. The next setup is one I am very excited about, and it's of course the biggest instalment so far in January of the Hogwarts Castle, and it'll be the hospital wing set as part of that Hogwarts Castle system that we are building towards as of last year. This is going to be $100 as things stand. It's going to be £90 here in the UK. My expectations for this is that we are moving away from the Philosopher's Stone style builds that we've got with that tower set and with the Great Hall, and indeed the Advent Calendar and everything else that's been a part of that system. Is that this has to either be from the Chamber of Secrets, and it's going to have a little Dobby in with Harry, with a bed, with Madame Pomfrey, or it will take from the Prisoner of Azkaban, and of course you'll see Ron with his arm in a sling, and Dumbledore, potentially Hermione, Harry, and maybe as Madame Pomfrey as well. It'll be either of those two sets. The side note for that set as well, if it is a set from the Prisoner of Azkaban, it means of course we'll be moving away from the Richard Harris Dumbledore, which we've got over the last sort of year or two in different sets. I'm thinking of the Great Hall, I'm thinking of the Advent Calendar as well. We got the different version of Richard Harris, and of course the Prisoner of Azkaban one would of course require a Michael Gambon figure. That's what makes me think potentially it is a Chamber of Secrets set once again, and it would of course require no different mold to the Dumbledore that you got from the Great Hall, which is of course a royal red Richard Harris version of Dumbledore. The next setup is set number 76460, which is the Hogwarts Castle sorting hat. This is going to be £12.99 here in the UK, $15 as things stand. It could be a bit more. This is going to be integrated into the Great Hall. My expectation of this is either that it will take after set number 4701, that early 2000s Harry Potter sorting hat set, very small set, one figure. I also, maybe it's a year or so ago on the channel, unboxed a book where you got the Lego Harry Potter sorting hat build. Let me see if I can find it actually. So it is dusty because I've just pulled it out of a box from nowhere, but you've got in it the sorting hat, you've got Harry, and you've got like a little plate on the bottom there where you can sort of spin it, and you either get, you know, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, or Gryffindor. I'm trying to make it happen whilst we're on camera. That will do, I think. We're just in Gryffindor. My expectation is it's kind of more like that in my head, and I can't work out whether that'll be good value or not. I think for £12.99 that's probably not great value. My expectation of it, of course, is that it will be integratable in the Hogwarts Castle system, as is its title listing, kind of like we got with the Dueling Club at the very start of last year. That set you can put inside of the Great Hall, and I chose not to do that. I've got it as a display piece to the side of me with the Mina Lima books, but you can use it in the Great Hall, but it does mean you have to pull all the tables out. I like my Great Hall the way it is. I like it kind of the way it came and the way it was intended to be, which is essentially with tables in it. So I probably won't rush out to get this because I don't intend to put it in the Great Hall. And if I wanted a little Harry Potter sorting hat ceremony moment, I've kind of already got one, so it's not something I'll be rushing out to get. But on a deep discount sale or any time when it drops under £10, it's probably one that I will pick up at some point in the future. The next set is a very, very interesting and exciting one, and it's almost a Speed Champions Harry Potter car. It's certainly a creator version of the Flying Ford Anglia, which is set number 76470. It's the Flying Ford Anglia. There is an expectation kind of within the community, certainly online, that this will be a sort of creator style set, an almost 18 plus Lego Harry Potter set, which kind of feels a little bit wild, but it'll be more of a systems based set. My expectation is that it will sort of fall along the lines of the Lego Star Wars sets where you see with a plaque, where you see a little sort of spec plaque and a little bit about the set. I expect it to be to scale and for it to fit Harry and Ron and Hedwig and maybe a couple of Trunks and of course Peter Pettigrew as well. And my only thing is I think that they knocked it out of the park with the last Ford Anglia. I think for the price point, it was £12.99. It was great. It was the best Ford Anglia in my opinion. I do understand there will be a community, a group of people that really want this bigger version of the Ford Anglia. I myself will probably end up picking it up. I think if it's a little bit more in scale with Harry and Ron, I think it could be a really nice set. This set is planned to come in at $80 US. As things stand, it will make it £70 here in the UK. It's one that I will probably grab. It won't be a day one pickup, I don't think. We'll have to see when the images finally do release whether or not this is a day one pickup for me. The next setup is one I spoke about last year before we found out, and it was probably about this time last year when I covered January 2025 leaks for Lego Harry Potter, and it was when we found out about the fact that we'd be getting a Harry and Hagrid on motorbike. And at that point I thought that there was a bit of confusion around the set numbers. I thought the Harry and Hagrid set would be a £12.99 set or a £15.99 set. I can't quite remember, something sub £20, and that would be the set that was that price, and it would essentially be what we are looking like we're going to get on January 2026, which is set number 76459. This is Hagrid and Harry at Privet Drive. It's going to be $20. It'll make it £18 here in the UK. It's exactly what I was expecting last year, which is a motorbike with a Hagrid that will be posable, and of course a Harry that fits into a little sidecar, almost like you see with Grogu's pram, slightly bigger. That is my expectation of it, and I expect it to size up similarly to the Ford Anglia set from a year or so ago. I think it'll be a fantastic set at that price point. It's one that I'll definitely pick up. It'll be a day one pickup for sure. I'll be so interested to see how they make Hagrid posable, because I know there's an outcry of this from about 5-6 years ago within the community that they wanted a Hagrid on bike, but you couldn't make him posable. I do think they've started to make a better version of Hagrid over the last couple of years. The one from Hagrid's Hut, really nice. I do wonder, however, and I will grab it for an example, whether they will make it more like the Gandalf's arrival, or that we've seen again in the Shire this year, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is, you can see there, I do have a pair of legs in a drawer for Gandalf, and you can see he's got a printed tile piece there that is his legs instead whilst he's sat down. Could that be what they do for Hagrid? Of course, really difficult to do because he's such a kind of an odd shape. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do it, but I'll be really curious to see if it's something similar to this sort of tile piece, if it's a printed tile instead of legs, so that when you've got him just stood up, he's just a normal Hagrid figure, and when you've got him sat down, he just has one of these tiles on the front which makes it look like he's sitting down. I'll be so curious to see, but I did wonder when I heard about it whether or not it would kind of take the same kind of form as this Gandalf. Really interesting to think about. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below as well. The final set on the list is one that we don't know almost anything about. It's set number 76464, and this is going to be a Cauldron Potion class set, and it'll be £18 again as things stands, or $20 US. And there's no real sort of clue as to what this is going to be. That is literally everything that we know about it. And the only thing is, it can't be another potions class like we saw a year or so ago in a set that is retiring next at the very end of this year as well, in a video that I did yesterday about all the LEGO Harry Potter sets that are retiring at the end of the year. Go and check that video out after this one as well. So it can't be a potions class with Snape or with any sort of figures in there. My gut feeling is it's going to be something similar to what we've seen with Hedwig at 4 Pivot Drive, where it's kind of like a big buildable item, or a sort of medium-sized buildable item with some sort of extra bits to it. I'll be so curious to see what it is. It is purely raw speculation at this point. There's absolutely no idea what this set is going to be other than from the name. A lot of people have suggested it could be a little cauldron pot. If it takes the sort of form of that 4 Pivot Drive Hedwig set, possibly there'll be a little book in there. Could it be the Half-Blood Prince book? That's just absolute raw speculation at this point as well. I'll be so curious to find out what it is. When we do get images of that set and every other set I've listed in the video today, you can be sure that you'll see it on the channel, and when we do get it in the build up to probably the festive season, and of course on New Year's Day. That is it. That is every single set that we know of that is coming for LEGO Harry Potter on January the 1st, and there's one or two in there that I'll definitely be grabbing on day one. I'm thinking mainly of the Luna Lovegood house, and of course of Hagrid and Harry on bike as well. And I'll be so curious to see what the hospital wing set looks like in terms of connectivity for that Hogwarts system that we are building on at the moment, because if it is a big part of it, I'll be very tempted to grab it straight away and start building it into the Hogwarts system that we have in play at the moment. Let me know if you're going to be grabbing any of this stuff just off of the speculation, the name, the number, the price in the comments down below. If you're a LEGO Star Wars fan, you want to know what's coming out for LEGO Star Wars in January, check out the video we did a couple of days ago. Loads of information in there, and slightly less speculation in that one. We've got a little bit more sort of solid stuff in there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. If you're a LEGO Harry Potter fan or a LEGO Star Wars fan, do hit the subscribe button. Do put a like on the video. It does sincerely help us out. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the very next video. Bye.